Some massive brand new Tesla upgrades have just leaked out, and if these leaks are true, Tesla is about to change forever. From secret software updates, brand new additional screens, and yes, even a full-blown Tesla App Store, all of these all-new features have actually leaked directly from Tesla themselves. There are some really big secrets hidden inside of Tesla software that could really change all Tesla vehicles on the road right now, and these leaks are really big, and it seems like no one is really talking about them. So let's break down 5 of the biggest Tesla leaks you need to know about, what new features could be coming, how you could basically unlock brand new range and brand new features in your Tesla, and how some brand new updates and features will basically turn your car brand new all over again. Lots of cool stuff to get into, so let's just jump right in. Also, huge thanks to Optowatt for sponsoring this video. It is an incredibly awesome free service that saves you money by automatically charging your car when electricity rates are at their cheapest, plus so much more. More on Optowatt and all it can do in a bit. Obviously, the last few months have been very busy in the world of Tesla, both in some good ways and, well, some bad ones too. We've gotten some really great software updates, some new features, this brand new standard range Tesla model that is cheaper than the other models currently available, but also we've seen some price increases, we've seen Tesla remove what I would argue to be some necessary components of the car in some cost-cutting measures, and also, yes, even more price increases that make Teslas so wonderful and so awesome, but also more expensive than they've ever been before. But while all this has been going on, behind the scenes and also in plain sight, we've seen multiple brand new upgrades sort of leak out directly from Tesla. One that has been out for a while and one that seemingly no one is really talking about, or at least is not getting the attention it deserves, is a port for a second screen discovered in the all-new board for the Model Y, but this also, I think, should apply to the Model 3 as well, as long as it's one of those newer cars that has the AMD Ryzen processor installed. Tesla hacker Green the Only posted these images a few weeks ago showing this Model Y board with a port clearly labeled for a second display, essentially in the exact same way we see it on the Model S and Model X. That does include, well, 3 displays now, but for a long time, just those 2 displays. One is that massive screen sort of for everyone in the car, and one is for the front view just for the driver, right sort of behind the steering wheel and sort of right underneath your line of sight directly to the road. And for those thinking this is sort of unnecessary, we have seen instances in the past where Tesla was shipping Model Ys with unused ports, but then after a few months, they started to retrofit those cars and occupy those ports. I think it was a USB hub in the case of the Model Y. I might be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong down below. But we have seen this in the past where Tesla has sort of shipped the cars with this functionality and then has gone back later and turned it on. For example, we saw this with the tilting moving screen in the Model S and Model X. We've seen this in a number of instances with different things before, heated rear seats in the Model 3 Standard Range Plus, and now one of these new features could be an all-new second display that you can add to your Model 3 or Model Y. Now, obviously, there are a few questions here that we've got to talk about and discuss, and the first one being, I guess really the main one, is what kind of second display are we actually talking about? Is this going to be a second display in the front like the Model S or Model X, where you can sort of see at a glance media controls, navigation, energy consumption? Is it going to be like that? And if that's the case, this could be really, really cool. Or does this second display refer to a rear display, also like the Model S and Model X, that's slightly more practical for those cars, but also slightly less cool and useful if it's just you in the front driving? We don't really know what the second display specifically refers to. And honestly, as of right now, we don't really know which direction this is going to go. On one hand, I do think that the rear screen makes more sense, as the Model 3 and Model Y are very family-oriented cars and people are hauling around passengers and kids in the back. A second display would make a lot of sense. We also just saw Elon mention that Tesla is working to sort of isolate the audio, so the driver and passenger in the front can have their own audio, so their own music or audiobook or whatever it might be, and the back passengers, like kids in the back, would have the audio from their TV show or whatever they're watching. If Tesla's going to go through the trouble to make that happen on the S and the X, it also makes sense to see that on the 3 and the Y, and does sort of make sense as to why we'd see a second display in the back. On the other hand, I am much more excited for a second display in the front, something right in the line of sight of the driver that gives me access to all that critical info. And if Tesla maybe does something similar to the Cybertruck, maybe we see this second display that's slightly smaller than what's on the S or the X. I'm not sure exactly what the size is of that screen on the S or the X, but there is some speculation based on these sort of recently leaked Cybertruck photos on the interior here that maybe Tesla is going to build a smaller screen into the Cybertruck, and maybe they're going to do a smaller screen on the 3 and the Y as well. So you are going to get something on these vehicles, but if you want the best of the best, the creme de la creme, the best, largest display, then you would move up to the S or the X. But even then, I would much rather have a smaller second display on the front than nothing at all. The next one we've got to talk about is additional music streaming services, including, or I guess specifically here, Apple Music, because according to this photo that was posted many, many months ago, Apple Music is just sitting in the Tesla backend, ready for the switch to be flipped and for the service to be turned on. Literally, according to this photo, Apple Music is there as an official source. It's ready to go. It just sort of needs to be turned on. And hopefully it looks like Tesla is now sort of working to add more streaming music options and more audio streaming options than we currently have in the cars right now, at least starting with Apple Music. Now, before we continue with more on this Model Y, let me take a quick break because I want to tell you guys a little bit of a secret. I want to show off an awesome service that is going to save you money, help you charge your car for the cheapest rate possible, and just something you need to know about if you own a Tesla or if you really own any EV. And of course, that is this video's sponsor, Optowatt. And if you have not heard of Optowatt before, let me be the first to introduce you to this amazing free service that automatically schedules your EV to charge when electricity rates are at their cheapest. And getting started with Optowatt is super simple, and again, it is totally 100% free. In a few simple clicks or taps on your phone, you can create an account, you link it up with your Tesla account, you enter in your electricity plan, and then Optowatt just takes care of the rest automatically here. It really just sort of feels like magic. It is super, super simple. And personally, as an Optowatt fan and a user myself every single day with my Model Y downstairs, something I just really appreciate really the most out of the service is it just totally takes all the guesswork and all of the planning out of charging your EV. You just don't have to think about when's on peak or when's off peak, when the plan is going to change throughout the year, what the rate is. Optowatt is going to take all that into account automatically to ensure you're always charging your car at the cheapest rate possible. In fact, Optowatt is packed with a ton of really awesome features that you just cannot find anywhere in the stock Tesla app. For example, you can set a custom departure time for each individual day. Also, if you set your Tesla to charge at off-peak hours in the stock Tesla app, not only is it going to not take into account any of those changes to your plan that are inevitably going to happen throughout the year, but also it's not going to start charging until after midnight, even if your plan starts off-peak hours like mine does at like 9 p.m., which I feel like is really, really common. I also just love that Optowatt really easily and clearly breaks down how much your car actually charged and how much you're paying for each individual charging session. So do not put this off any longer. Now is the time to charge smart with Optowatt. Save money, save time, save hassle, and also save the planet by charging more responsibly, because charging shouldn't be this hard. So get Optowatt and make things so much simpler today. If you guys want to learn more and get started with Optowatt today, hit the link right down below. Again, this service is 100% free. It's going to save you money, time, hassle, and just makes things so much easier. I love Optowatt. I use it every day myself. I know you guys will love it as well. So again, get started with Optowatt today by clicking the link right down below. And this is not to say there's anything inherently wrong with Spotify, Tidal, Stitcher, TuneIn, Slacker, whatever the built-in option is. But more options obviously is always a good thing. I'd love to see Pandora. I would love to see Audible. I'd love to see YouTube Music, Apple Music. There are a number of different music streaming options that would be really nice to see in there. And also for those who want a free streaming option that isn't the one built in, it'd be nice to see a Spotify free tier included in there as being a compatible option, or having just additional music streaming services or podcast apps. It's nice to see what Tesla's got, but if they could add more in there, obviously that'd be a great thing. And I think that everyone would love to see more options for additional third-party streaming apps. And speaking of third-party apps and music streaming, what about third-party Tesla apps or Tesla App Store altogether? It's been a rumor for a while, but when could it actually be coming? And this one is particularly interesting because a Tesla App Store could seriously change everything and really be a win-win for everybody involved. It would make Tesla a lot of money based off of the commissions they could make off of app sales. It could make developers a lot of money from people buying those apps. And it would also give drivers, Tesla owners, an ability to sort of have these third-party apps built directly into their Teslas. An app store makes so much sense. This integration could be awesome. And again, it could be a win-win for everybody involved. There are so many reasons a Tesla App Store makes sense and so many apps I'd love to see. I mean, think about having fast food integration built in, or third-party apps like Waze, for example, for mapping, or Uber or Lyft. So many possibilities here. Basically, the possibilities are endless. I'd love to see more games, more media streaming options in terms of videos and movies. There is so much that could be added here, and I really think a Tesla App Store has the ability to really change everything and really solidify Tesla as the car company with the best software on the planet right now. A few months ago, after the launch of Tesla software version 11, Tesla posted a very interesting video on their LinkedIn page with an interesting sort of unreleased app that sort of leaked out in that video. A couple of shots in this video show a Zoom app in the Tesla dock, which obviously does not exist as of right now, but could be sort of a pilot for a third-party app store. And maybe Tesla's working with a number of small partners to develop first-party apps or third-party apps with the first party, which is Tesla. Basically, this could be the beginning of what could be third-party apps on your Tesla. Now, this next leak feature is much bigger than just a software update, but it's really this all-new model, and that is this all new? Is it new? It's version 2. I guess it's sort of new. And of course, that is the standard range Model Y. And I know it sounds a little weird to call this car leaked and to call it some sort of undiscovered thing, but technically, this car kind of doesn't exist. It is registered with a number of sort of entities and different regulatory commissions, but you can't actually go on the website of Tesla.com and configure and buy this car. It sort of exists for the lucky individuals who Tesla deems worthy to buy it. It sort of might exist on existing inventory if you can be fast enough to buy it, but technically it's like this unicorn of a Tesla. It was gone, it was back, it was gone, it's back again, but it's sort of unofficially there, and you can't actually buy it. At least most people can't get their hands on it. And what's so interesting here is there's a lot we still don't know about this car, even though it's an actual physical car that's being built. What we do know is pretty cool though. It has the AMD Ryzen processor, it's being built at Giga Texas, so it's got the heated wipers, it's got the new lithium-ion battery, it's got the 4680 battery pack, it's got a lot of the really nice sort of Tesla creature comforts in this standard range dual motor model that does have the premium audio system, it's got the nice interior, it's got all the great stuff, but it's got a little less range at about 279 miles-ish, and also a cheaper price tag, and I think at around $62-ish thousand. Though again, you can't officially buy it. It's available to some Tesla owners. It's again available to some on the existing inventory based on location, and it is available off menu to employees only, so not for sale technically to those in the general public. And one of the most interesting parts of this Model Y is sort of leading me to the next point here, and that is over-the-air software updates, paid software updates that unlock new parts of the car. And we have seen before the ability to pay for an acceleration boost, to pay for rear heated seats and stuff like that. But soon you might have the ability to pay to unlock more range, because that seems to be the case here on this standard range Model Y. There is a lot of speculation right now that Tesla is software locking the battery on the standard range Model Y, which is limiting the range. I'm not sure, and again, I'm not in tune on the details here. I don't think it's the same battery that is in the long range Model Y, but it is a battery that has more capacity than Tesla is currently allowing. And someone who owns the standard range Model Y does show that there is an acceleration boost option you can buy for it, which is not the case on the rear wheel drive Model 3. That there is no acceleration boost only on the long range, which is weird because the Model Y obviously is a standard range, but it does have dual motors. And there is speculation that Tesla could offer, at least some point in the future, an ability to buy more range, basically to max out that battery and to basically buy yourself more range than what the car is currently giving as an available range right now. And I'm curious if this is something we see come to other Tesla models, that maybe they're able to sort of make these cars and then sort of bring the cost down and software lock features that eventually you could pay to unlock. We've seen this on the standard range Model 3 before, the base $35,000 model, that Tesla was allowing owners to pay to unlock features and basically take it from a standard range to a standard range plus. We've seen Tesla allow you to obviously pay the money to add full self-driving and stuff like that and sort of pay to unlock this hardware. But I wonder if we see them take an approach where they will sell a cheaper car, but software lock a lot of the features down. So maybe you have a software locked audio system that doesn't have the subwoofer and some speakers available out of the box, so to speak. Maybe they software lock speed and range and other parts of the car to bring the cost down initially, but then gives owners the ability to pay to unlock those features later on down the road. That's always been one of my biggest issues with the standard range plus or the rear wheel drive Model 3, was that you had no really way to upgrade things after the fact or grow into the car. It was missing floor mats. It was missing parts of the audio system. It was had LED fog lights disabled, and there was no way to sort of pay to unlock more range or to pay to unlock those features. You just sort of got what you got. But here with the standard range Model Y, Tesla is showing that they are taking a different approach where they are going to give you a car at a cheaper price that sells a lot of great stuff, but some stuff missing, but then maybe give you the ability to sort of pay to unlock those features later on down the road and basically pay to unlock more range. Not officially happening, though a lot of evidence suggests that this could be a thing, and knowing Tesla and sort of what they've been doing with bringing back EAP and adding these new software subscriptions and more features over the air software updates, wouldn't be at all surprised if sometime very soon you're going to be able to pay to unlock more range depending on the car you've got. So I'm curious, guys, what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on a Tesla App Store or third-party apps or media streaming or pay to unlock range or the standard range Model Y? What are your thoughts on these leaked or not so leaked upgrades and hidden features? What do you think is going to come first? What do you think Tesla is going to do? What do you think is just a pipe dream? Let me know your thoughts to all this stuff down below. As always, I appreciate you guys watching so much. Thank you so much sincerely for watching these videos and all your support. I appreciate it. I'm Robert Rosenfeld, and I'll see you all in the next one.